Hi everybody, this is Angelo Quinones and welcome to Iron Ministries. Iron Ministries is designed to give you dependable and accurate answers that come straight from God's holy and inspired word, the Bible. Over here we read NRK or NRK Ein Ha Lagos Kai Ha Lagos Ein Prastanthean Kai Theos Ein Ha Lagos, or NRK in o logos ke o logos in proston theon kai theos in o logos. Okay, two different pronunciations, but it boils down to the same thing. The Hebrew of this verse again says, Bereshit haya hadabar, v'hadabar hayaim ha'elohim, va'elohim haya hadabar. Okay, we'll check out the construction, okay, in my fourth lesson of this. This is the third mini lesson, and the date for this will be September, what is it? What is September the 29th of 2018? Mini lesson. New lesson. Mini lessons. Now we saw that NRK means in beginning here. It doesn't need an article. Te. Okay, right in front of RK. Tau and eta with the iota subscript, because prepositional phrases don't need articles. And we saw in the case of Romans chapter 1 verse 7 that the word Rome does not have an article in front of it. And that was a specific Rome. That was the Rome. Okay, you understand? But yeah, it doesn't have in the Rome. So it doesn't need, okay, an article. The prepositional phrases don't need articles. And we saw that in the Greek Septuagint. The NRK doesn't have an article there. And that was specific time of creation. I mean, listen, this earth was made in a specific time. Okay, but it doesn't even have a te there either. So just tell the witnesses that. You understand? NRK. So NRK is found 55 times in the New Testament. Not a lot of times, but enough to pepper a little bit the New Testament with his presence. NRK, and N is a preposition spelled out en in English, or epsilon and nu. Now be careful, because the ein, which is another word, a complete different word from n. And it's a preposition meaning, it has various meanings, but it means in here, in. But ein, which is the third Greek word, okay, after the number 1 there on the top left of your screen, okay, remember that you read Greek from left to right, not like Hebrew. Hebrew, you read it from right to left, okay? So that's just the deal. NRK, actually, what was I about to say? That be careful with the spelling, with the English spellings, if this is transliterated. Transliteration means that you're taking English letters to translate, okay, any letters of any language. Okay, so the epsilon will be an E, the nu. So be careful with that, because the ein, I'm trying to say the ein, okay, is also spelled out en. So that's tricky. But they're two completely different words. So be very careful about that, okay? When you're looking at your manuals and stuff like that, that en doesn't always mean ein, and en doesn't always mean, okay, in. Okay, you understand? So be careful with that. Be careful. Now, I didn't give you the spellings for n, which means in here. So that's the first Greek word here, equal to the preposition be, okay, which also means in, but in Hebrew. So you have a bet or a be, being a preposition there, okay, in John 1:1, and with I have to look at it, but it might have a schwa underneath it or something like that. I'll look at that in my next study, but is actually bet in Hebrew, meaning in, and then but it's n here. Now you might say, well, Angelo, looks like Ev. It looks like EV, right? But the V looking letter in Greek is not a V, it's an N, like in Nancy. So it's called a nu, N-U, okay? Equal to the nun in Hebrew. At least it sounds the same anyway, okay? So, but this V looking symbol is not a V. There is no V okay, like Victor in biblical Hebrew. There is a V, okay, according to modern biblical Greek. There is a V according to modern day Hebrew. Okay, modern Hebrew, and that's Vita. The what we call a beta. Okay, the B in biblical Greek. I keep on saying biblical Hebrew. Biblical Greek actually is a B sounding letter like biblios, but in modern Greek, the beta can be a V. It's called vita. Okay, vita. All right, so there's no V in biblical Greek, so you don't have to worry about saying, oh, well, this looks like a V, so I don't know. You do know this is not a V. There's no V. It's just if you're seeing something that looks like a V, sort of a small V, you're looking at the N. There's no question about it. Okay, so just pronounce this N. Okay, N. So that's it. Epsilon, capital Epsilon. So the soft breathing marker doesn't go above it. No breathing marks go over a capital letter in Greek, but they go to the left-hand side of the capital letter. Okay. Okay, and you see that with one consonant, hro, and then the 7 vowels. I believe 7 vowels can take breathing markers and all that stuff. Okay, so it's N, and then our K. We already spelled that out. Alpha, rho, chi, eta with the iota subscript. Now, Y is a little tiny. I don't know if you can see it. Let me poke the bear a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Okay, why is there an I underneath the eta in our K? Why is there a little I? You see that I there? You see that I in the second word after 1? You see that underneath a letter in Greek that looks like an N? It's not an N, it's an E, by the way. You see, that's the thing. You have to get used to that stuff. That's a E class, like in the word they. Okay, eta. Okay, nowadays called eta, but who cares? Okay, so but underneath this eta is a little tiny I. What is that? Well, the little tiny I in Greek can point out the dative case. Okay, can point out the dative case in a noun. Okay, so so the thing is that the little tiny I is a iota subscript because it's subscripted underneath a letter, and that can only occur underneath 3 letters, underneath this letter eta, alpha, and also like in Petra, and also omega. Okay, like in Toteo, he lied to God, right? And there's a little tiny I underneath the omega in both those words, the article to and the noun theo, which means okay, to God. Praxis Apostolon, chapter 5, verse 4. Now, let's poke the bear again. Now, get it back to the original condition. Okay, now, but I have to go. Let me see if I go like that. Let me see if I go like that. If I go like that, okay, fine. So, NRK. So this is going to be my last lesson for today, and then I'll take a look at it again. But so you know basically enough to defeat a JW in a debate and campaign. You know enough. Okay. Now let's go on. So ain, okay, means was, and that's in the imperfect tense. Now this is the past form of Amy. What do I mean by that? Well, the lexical form of ain is Amy. Remember Jesus said, okay, ego Amy. Okay, ego Amy. I am the good shepherd. I am the light of the world, and I am the door. I am the true vine. Just simply, I am. Before Abraham began to be, I am. And he didn't say, before Abraham began to be, I am, about 100 years before Abraham. There's no limitation. I am, period. That's it. Before Abraham began to be, I am. He doesn't say, well, I am, but only to a certain degree. I was created. Jesus never said that, he was created. Okay, ever. I believe verse 15. Let me see if I can see it here. I don't know if I have time, but John the Baptist says something very striking. I think in verse 15, he says before, and at the end, it's in verse 15. It says over here, Ioannes marturie peri, that he witnessed concerning him, autu, and okay, que kragen legon, saying, that's a participle, saying, now hutas, this was, okay, let me see, he, okay, upon spoke. Now check this out. Okay, you see, oi piso, mu kaminas. Okay, now check this out. Emprasten mu geganen hati. Check this out. Protas mu. You see, because hati and then protas before me, and me is mu here, is in the possessive case, okay, in English, and then where he was before me. I don't know if it says possessive me, but it's in the genitive here in Greek, nonetheless. Okay, mu is it's from the ego paradigm, mu moime. You understand what I'm saying? Ego mu moime, I should say. Okay, so but he said protas. Jesus never said that the Father was protos before him. Never. Not one time he said that the Father was. He said the Father was greater. Doesn't mean before. Okay, remember there's a scripture that says that God is greater than man. Okay, so Jesus is talking about the relationship between him as Son of God, okay, and his Father, who is pater. The Greek word pater is found 23 times. It's very dominant. Okay, the word God is found one time in John chapter 14. So obviously he's talking about his relationship with the Father. Okay, with the Father. Patri. With the Father. With Patri, I should say. So I just wanna match the cases, stuff like that, So it doesn't say protas. Say that to the witnesses too. Okay, protas. Okay, I think it was spelled out what? Pi, Rho, Omega, Tau, Omicron, Sigma. Protas. It didn't say one time he was before him. Not one time he said that the Father was before him. That would be the coup de grace for the witnesses. I would be a witness now. Maybe not. I might be in another religion because, the witnesses stink. I mean, just face it. Magic wheat and corn. I mean, So, I mean, I guess I will still be in the same religion, but we won't be teaching what we teach about Jesus. You understand what I'm saying? This is good enough to be in this religion. If that was the case, if it taught it, I mean, we'll have to accept it, right? It's hard to imagine, to be a Christian. It wouldn't really be the same thing. I don't want to get into it. It's just so too deep for tears. But this is not the case. It's not the case that he was, before the Logos. He doesn't say protos of the Father in him, meaning that the Father was before him. It doesn't say it. John the Baptist said it about, about Jesus, that he was before John. Protos or protas. I don't care how you pronounce the Omicron. You understand what I'm saying? And I can't halagas kai halagas ain prostantean kai teazeno logos. Okay. Now halagas is in the article ha is called the weak demonstrative. Let's get to the article ha now before logos. Now, ha is the lexical form. It's nominative. It's a nominative masculine singular construction. Okay, the article paradigm. Ha heta. I made a song out of it. Okay, ha heta, tu tes tu, to te to, tan ten ta. Also, hoi hai ta, ta. This time with an alpha, pointing out the plurality of it all. Ton ton ton, tois tais tois, and tus tas ta. Those are the 24 articles. This is not only the word the, okay, in Greek. It means much more than that. It could be a pronoun. It can mean that one. It could point out special definiteness before a word. Okay, hatheas can be vocative, and it is. At least 12 times in the New Testament. including Mark chapter 15 verse 34, John 20 verse 28, Hebrews 1 8, and Hebrews 10 7. This is Angelo Quinones giving the glory to the God of Israel.